Hello, this is Jim Smith, Dairy Strategic Account Manager for Pioneer Seed and Corteva AgriScience, bringing you the next installment of the Silage Zone, specifically around harvest and the 2019 corn silage. So, we know that 2019 has been terribly challenging, from getting the crop in the ground, growing the crop, all the weather events we've had. We know that within fields we could have as much as 2 to 3 leaf stage difference. What's that going to present for us? Another challenge around harvest, because we're going to have varying moistures within the same field and from field to field, more so than usual. So we're going to talk about how we're going to accomplish this through timing, tools, and the team that you need to pull this off. Okay? So first, around timing. We know that corn typically gets to that half milk line, which is full dent, around 900 GDUs post-tassel. And what are we trying to accomplish? We're trying to get in that bunker and pile an overall moisture of somewhere between 66 to 68%, maybe 65 to 68%. On other structures it may be less. So when we talk about a bag, it may be in the 61 to 65. In an upright, it may be 60 to 63. So we need to know what our structure is, but that's what we're shooting for, is that overall whole plant moisture that's going to give us the most tons with the least amount of shrink from the leachate, because we know those are just nutrients that are leaving that silage that are not only an environmental problem, but they can also be nutrients that the cows are not getting to consume. So what I did was I went into Encirca, 5 different locations across Wisconsin and Minnesota, used 4 different maturities of hybrids specific to that location, with 4 different planting dates of May 1st, May 16th, May 31st, and June 8th. So the first piece of information you see here is in south central Wisconsin near Middleton. I looked at 101 to 114 day hybrids on those 4 planting dates, and based on the projections from August 26th forward on 20-year average GDU accumulations going forward, we've got corn silage harvest dates of anywhere from September 2nd to October 22nd based on the maturity of that hybrid and when it was planted. The next location is northeast Wisconsin, Pulaski area. I used 85 to 101 day. That gives us anywhere from September 11th to October 11th. The next one is north central Wisconsin. I used 85 to 101 day, and it gives us anywhere from September 11th to October 11th. And on any of this information where you see the 3 X's, based on that 20-year average projection of GDU accumulation, it wouldn't have enough GDUs to get us to that half milk line for making corn silage. The 4th location is northwest Wisconsin, near Hammond, Wisconsin. I used 97 to 109 day hybrids. Gives us harvest dates of anywhere from September 9th to October 18th. The last location was north central Minnesota, near Sauk Center. 85 to 101 day gives us September 4th to October 10th. So there's our timing that we know of today, but of course those are projections. We'll have to be in the fields and finding out what it is actually at for moisture when it gets time to make silage. Next one is tools. I'm going to talk about 5 tools. First one, have a microwave on hand all the time with a turntable that you can get a really accurate moisture in just 5 to 7 minutes versus maybe a coster where it takes 45 minutes. Have one of those on hand. The next thing is, have your 32-ounce processing cup so that you know that that silage that's coming to the bunker is well processed with 2 or less half or whole kernels in that sample. And if it doesn't meet that, you need to get things adjusted on the chopper. Next thing is just pounds of equipment. We know that we want 800 pounds of equipment on that silage getting packed per ton of silage that's coming in per hour. So go to tractordata.com, find out what your tractors weigh, know how much you're bringing in on the wagons, and do the math and make sure you got the metal on that pile that you need to get it done. Fourth thing is the right inoculant. Because of the wide variation that I think we're going to experience in maturities of the silage that comes into there, we're more than likely going to have a higher than normal sugar content in our corn silage. So it's really going to dictate that we more than likely are using an albuchnaride containing inoculant, especially when we know that that feed is going to be utilized from May through October when we have 50 degrees or higher for an average temperature at feed out. Next thing you need to do is a little bit out of the box, but if we're going to have a lot of variation in that moisture coming in, there may be fields that are coming in way too wet. I'm considering having a drying agent. When I say a drying agent, I'm talking about another feed ingredient that you can mix in with that silage to get that average moisture where you need it to prevent that leachate and end up with a great pile of silage. The table I've got here that I'm going to show you shows the corn silage anywhere from 80% to 70% moisture with a drying agent or ingredient that is 12% moisture, where you're going to have that ingredient go anywhere from 19% when you've got 80% moisture corn silage down to 6% if you're at 70. Then let's talk about the team. First person on that team that I want to mention is the nutritionist. Make sure that you visit with them. If you're going to, especially if you're going to use that last piece where you're going to use an ingredient to keep that moisture in the pile correct, talk to them about the quality that you have on the farm, the quantity as far as inventory, what's best going to complement that. Is it going to be ground corn? Is it going to be corn gluten feed? Is it distiller's grains? Is it wheat midds? Is it some other ingredient? Work with them to figure that out. Second person we need on that team is a field stager, whether it's your agronomist or your local Pioneer agency or a Pioneer employee that's helping you stage those fields so that they come in at the right order within that silage harvest window. Third person, have someone working with that microwave and that processing cup at that pile constantly to make sure the moisture is as close as you can get it and that the processing is appropriate, and if it needs changed, to get it changed quickly. You got to have a great push and pack team. People that are running those tractors are going to make sure that the pile is getting packed or the bunker the way you need it to be packed to eliminate that shrink or reduce it. Have another person there if you go with that ingredient drying agent that's going to be putting in the right amount as that silage comes in and making sure that the numbers are correct based on the moistures and how much they need to add. Then I think another piece that we're going to have to look at this year is a cover as you go team. We could have a wide window of when we take this silage in and put it in for the bunker for storage. So I think something you got to think about is covering your silo as you go, whether it's a bunker or a pile, whatever it may be, cover it as you go because we could have a fairly wide window on that harvest. So there's our goal, there's our timing, tools, and team. I hope you have a great 2019 corn silage harvest. Reach out to your Pioneer agency or Pioneer employee and let us help you have a great 2019 corn silage harvest. Stay safe, use the high visibility so that no one gets hurt and that we have a nice, safe harvest.
That concludes this Pioneer Growing Point Agronomy video podcast. Visit our page on pioneer.com and follow us on Twitter and Facebook for more agronomy insights.